Good day, everybody. I welcome you to this online session on how to use Google Form to set questions in order to evaluate our students. My name remains Odolewu-Ijebu, and I will be taking you through how to set our Google Form questions on our phone. First and foremost, how do we go about a Google Form? So if you have a Google browser on the phone, what you simply do is you click on the Google browser, then it takes you out. Then the next thing is you search. You click on the search and click on Google Form. So when you click on Google Form, you will see the results there. The first one you have there is Google Form, sign up now with 14 days free. Then let's move on. Then you see Google Forms free online surveys 4. So let's click on Google Form free online surveys 4. So when you click on that, you see the page. The first one we have there is personal. Then the next one we have there is business. So we have so many other templates there, but for the sake of what we want to do, we'll go to the personal and click on go to Google Form. Now let's click on go to Google Form. When you click on go to Google Form, it will upload it for us. So this is a Google Form on a mobile phone. Now, but before I go to anything, I want us to add this page to our home screen. And how do you go about it so that we won't be going to Google browser every time we want to go access our Google Form? You just have to click on the home screen shortcut created and it will take us straight to it. Then how do you go about it? We'll click on if you look at the top right of the screen, you'll see the 3 dots there, the top right screen above the K in green. So you click on it. When you click on it, you have copy link, view collections, recent, find in page, add to home screen. So what we'll do is you click on add to home screen. So the next thing you will see there is to name your form on titled form. Then you can click and edit the name. So we can call it CKCC Google Form. It depends on the name you want to use, but for the sake of this class, I'll call it CKCC Google Form. Then I'll click on the add button. So you can see shortcut to CKCC Google Form have been created. Now to show that it has been created, I will back this on my browser to show my screen. Then my shortcut always save on my home screen. Then I'll click on it. You can see CKCC Google Form. Then I'll click on it. It will take me straight to this place. Are we together now? It will take me straight to this place. So what we have to do here, the first thing we have to do is to title our form. So the first thing we have to do is to title our form, and here we can call it Christ the King. Christ the King Catholic College, Odolewu-Ijebu. Okay, titled our form there. Then the next one we also have here is untitled form. Here also you click on untitled form and you have it there automatically, Christ the King Catholic College, Odolewu-Ijebu. Then you can give it a form description. So let me give it a form description. You can call it SSS2 data processing, third term first continuous assessment first. Okay, that is the description. So then I will quickly want to explain the features of this Google form that we have. So the first one I want to explain is the purple color at the top left of the screen. The purple color at the top left of the screen. So if you click on it, it will show you already done work that has been saved on the Google Drive. You can see we have a form here, a folder, classroom, online test, all this thing. So this is SS1 data processing. I've already created one for SS1. So on this one, you'll be able to see you've done or saved work there. The next one towards the right, you'll see a sign there with 4 dots inside. So if you click on it, it is called themes options. Here we can design the background, we can design the color, we can change the header of how our form will look like. Here we have header. Under the header you can choose the image. So in this case, if you have the school logo on your phone, you can just upload it. You have theme already created template for us: work and school, illustration, birthday, food and dining, petty. Because we are dealing with school, then we have to take on the school, then we can select. But if you have the school logo on your phone, you click on upload, then you browse it, you go and pick it, or you want to make use of a photo. Now let me just use theme because I don't have the school logo on my phone. Then let me look for a beautiful template I can use. Then I click on this, then it will ask me to insert. I click on insert. Okay, image uploaded automatically. We are not done yet. Theme color. What color do you want to use? Depending on you, you can click on the plus to ask more, to bring more color out for you. You can cancel it. Now let's click on green. Okay, then what about background color? It depends on you. I will leave my background color as this. Then we'll go ahead. The next one is font style. If you click on the font style, we have this font style there, but I will advise, or I will suggest that we leave it as basic in order to allow our students to see our questions. Then after that, we'll click on apply. Apply is at the top of the screen. You click on apply, then it applies to it. You can see it has changed. The image is there. Okay, then you can see the background to be green. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, I'm coming out to change the theme again in order to make it the background theme. Okay, then I apply. That is me. That is how I want it to look like. It depends on how you want to do it. Now you can have untitled questions. Okay, untitled questions. So if you click on titled questions, here is where you type in our questions. Are you with me? And you see here, you can type your questions there, and you see underneath multiple choice. Now I quickly run through this to enable us to understand what we mean by this. The first one you see up there is short answer. So short answer is majorly used if you want to ask a question that will not take more than a line or two to answer. For example, in theory, so you want to ask them questions that will not take more than a line or two, we have to click on short answer. The next one is paragraph. Paragraph is used to answer a long question. For example, you want them to write essay, and you know that WAEC standard for essay is 450 words. So a paragraph can take care of that. So this is good for the English department. So you can still ask them to write an essay about any particular topic, and the next thing you will click is paragraph, so that it will give the students enough space to be able to type their answer. And the next one we have there is multiple choice. Multiple choice, as we all know, is our OBJ. So you can, if you ask question like which of the following is not an example of input devices, then you can put our options there and the students can click on the correct one. The next one is check boxes. The check boxes simply means we can ask questions that the students can pick more than one answer in our options. For example, we can say that which of the following is an example of input device, and we put 3 correct options there and 1 wrong option. So the students should be able to pick the 3 correct options. So more checkboxes will allow to do that. We have drop down, we have file upload, we have linear scale. Okay, let me explain drop down. Drop down simply means students can be able to connect 2 options together. Then file upload simply means you can ask students to upload or to search for a particular question online or on YouTube and allow them to upload. So using file upload as our options for answer, it will enable the students to be able to upload their results. So but for the sake of this exam or assessment we are going to have, is going to majorly be on short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, and if you want to use the file upload, it depends on the format you want your questions to go. So in this case, we are going to make use of short answer, and I will advise here that the first thing we should do here is to ask our students to write their name and their class. And the reason is to be able to trace each of the students' responses to their work. So here we are going to ask them, write your full name and your class. Write your full name and your class. So this is the first one they have to do. So you can see that it is short answered questions. Now I will explain something under this. We have the first one there, like a rectangular box and a small right corner shape. This is called a copy. If I want to copy what I have here as a question, write your full name, short answer, I don't need to go and click on the plus sign. I just have to click on the copy. It will duplicate it underneath for me. So the next one we have to it is a basket sign. So it is called delete. If I want to delete this question here, I can click on it, and the next one we have there is required. The required, in front of it you see a line and a circle. So if you click on it, it means it makes these questions very important for students to answer. If the students do not answer these questions, they won't be able to go to the next questions. So this will enable us to avoid I submit mistakenly. So, and in our questions, we can actually make all our questions required, compulsory for them. So they have to answer this. So the first thing we have to do, which I'm suggesting, is to write their full name and their class. Now, before I proceed to the next one, I want to explain some of the features of Google Form. I've explained the first one here, which is called the theme. The next one you will see after the theme up there is a send sign. So I'll click on it, the send sign. So you can see the send form. Here we use it to send our created form either through email or through a link or through embedded HTML. Now let me explain this. We can send this via email. If you know the email of the students you want to send it to, you can send it straight away. What you just do is you edit it, you type your subject on it, then you type in the email address here to the person you want to send it to, then include form in email. So but for our assessment here, for monitoring sake, we are making use of link. Okay, immediately you click on link, you see the link generated for us. What we'll simply do is you just click on it, it will highlight everything, then you click on copy. Are you with me now? So once you click on copy, then we will have to go and paste it as we normally do in Zoom. After creating our scheduled Zoom, we will go and paste it on CKC's faculty. So we'll go and paste it wherever the management will create for the link for the continuous assessment. So you can at the same time shorten the uniform resource locator. You can see that it has become small. If it is the style you want, you can do that, then you copy again. So copy it to clipboard. So what you just do is after creating it, then you click on this, you will now go to the WhatsApp group created and go and paste your link there with your subject and your and your link. So the next one we have is embedded HTML. This is simply used to attach to the website. If you want to attach this form to your website to take info from people visiting the website, so we are not using that. Majorly what we are using is the link, the one in the middle. And I have to close the send form. Then the next one you see there is the small dot. So then you click on it, and this will give you preview. I'll quickly run through this. Preview will enable us to see how our form will look like at the student's end. So instead of letting the students to see it, we can preview our work to see how it looks like before the students will see it. Next one is settings. If you click on settings, we have general settings. So here we can click on collect email addresses. If you want them to submit their email address as they submit the questions, this will make it required automatically. So you can click on it to collect their email address, but I'll suggest that this is not necessary. It depends on individual personality if you want to receive their email address or not. But since you ask them to write their name, their full name and their class, I think that has taken care of that. So the next one is require sign in. Here you limit to one response. Are you with me now? You limit to one response. Required sign in, meaning that only one person can sign in using the link. It's not that they will copy the link and 2 people, 3 people. Are you getting me now? Only one person can sign using one link. So if you click on that, then the next one is respondents can. One is edit after submit. Do you want them to edit their responses after submission, or you want them to see summary charts and text responses? So I believe this should be omitted. This should be left out. We don't need to click that. Then the next one we'll do is presentation. You click on presentation and we have show progress bar. Do you want a bar that will tell you how the response is coming in the bar of the submission? The next one is shuffle question order. Do you want to shuffle your questions as in the case of CBT? So it depends on us. Then the next one I want to talk about is confirmation message. What kind of message do you want your students to see by the time they submit their responses? Now here we have your response has been recorded. But if you have another response you want, your confirmation message you want your students to see, here you can edit it. Are you with me? You can type your response there. Okay, depends on you. That is under presentation. Then we go to quizzes. Then under the quizzes, I'll leave the quizzes and I'll come back to it after setting my questions on the form. So if you are done with that, you just click on save. Are you with me? Click on save and it will save it automatically. Then we are back to our questions here. Then we'll click on the 3 dots again because we went to that under settings. We have undo. If you want to undo all the work you've done, you can undo it. You can star it to make it your favorite. You can make a copy of the form created. You can move your created form to a folder. If you create a folder in your Google Drive, you can move it there. You can trash it. You can delete it. You can get a prefill in. You can print it. You can add collaborator and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead. Now, I'll also explain what I have at the bottom part of the screen. At the bottom part of the screen, we have a plus sign in a circle. So the plus sign is also called a duplicator, meaning that it will give you a new question page. Okay, you know, the first one we do here is write your full name and your class. So, and we still want to ask questions. What you simply do is you click the bottom part of the questions where at the bottom of required and everything. So you click the green part of it, then you click on the plus sign. If you click on the plus sign, it will give you another page for multiple choice questions on. You can change it to any choice of your format of the questions you want. Okay, so let's go ahead. So write your full name is there. That is the plus sign. The next one is the arrow in front of it. The arrow in front of it, when you click on it, it will just tell you if you have already designed form on your Google Drive and you want to pick it to work. You can see this is the present one I'm creating, and I've already created one for SS1. So you can click it and work on it, then you can send the link and so on. That is that. The TT you have there is to talk about the font style you want it to look at. You can make use of it if you want to edit the font style from basic to any other style you want. Then the next one we have there is the image sign. Image sign means if you want to insert image into your questions, you can use that. The next one we have is the video sign. Video sign simply means you can search for video on YouTube, or if you know the uniform resource locator of the video, you can search for it, then upload it as part of your question. So students can watch the video and answer questions that follows it. And the last one we have there is the small rectangular shape on each order. So if you click on this, is called add section. So this one enables us to sectionalize our work. The reason is that if you click on this, it will make our work in pages. So instead of having a long one page of questions that the students may be tiring in answering it or scrolling up and down, so you can sectionalize our work by clicking on add section, so it will break it in pages. So this will happen if you want 5 questions to appear on each page. So after the 50th one, you click on add section, it will go to the next, and it will add the next page for you, then you continue your questions. So after the 5th one, you can click. So at the end, at the students end, they will be able to see when they finish answering the first 5 questions, they will click on next to access the next question. So we're going to make use of all this in designing our work. Now let's proceed. Write your full name and your class. So here, short answer questions. Okay, now let's go ahead. Question. Okay, so here we can call it our questions could be, I want to call this one section A. Section A, and I call it multiple choice, as we normally do in our paper pencil. Then I'll tag this one short answer question. Okay, are you getting me now? Section A, or if you don't want to use section A, section B, just go straight and type your questions. Number 1 is, which of the following is not an ancient method of information transmission? Put our question marks there. Which of the following is not an ancient method of information transmission? Then we change our option to multiple choice. Okay, option A, we can have a beating drum. Then how do we add the next option? You click on add option. Okay, when you click on add option, what's the next one? Fire lighting. Then you click on add option again. Then you can have television. Then you click on the 4th option. Since we are using option A to D, then we can have town crier. So that is our first questions. Okay, so when you are done with this, then you want to add the next question. What you do is you click the bottom part of the questions, not where your cursor is blinking. So you click the bottom part of it, where under the required, you click it outside that white box for your question. Then you click on plus sign again. Okay, let's set the next question. The next question is, data is referred to as. You can see that Google Form is suggesting answers to you. Here, if you want to ask questions that has to required with date, that for example, Nigeria got independent in what year? So you can click on date and put your answers there. But in this case, data refers to as, then I'll change it to multiple choice. Again, okay, option A, data refers to as raw facts. Okay, option B, data refers to as raw facts and figures. Okay, raw facts and figures. Then the next one, add option. Data refers to as processed data or processed information. Then the next one is, you had it there, option 4. Data is refers to as decision making. So I'm using this as an example. That is number 2 questions. Then let's add the next questions. Then I'll click the down part of it, click on plus. So in this case, I want to make use of image so that students will be able to answer my questions. Then I'll click on the image sign at the right side of the question here. When I click on it, it will take you to this page where you have upload camera by URL. Under the upload, if you have the image already on your phone, you just click on browse. So when you click on browse, it will suggest locations for you. Then mine is on the document, and under the document is on CKCC. Then I'll scroll to find where my image is. Then I click on the image. It's uploaded. It has uploaded my image. Can you see my image? Are you getting me now? Then I can ask my questions. Okay, you can say, in the image shown below, okay, comma, the part label D is, okay, the part label D is, and you know it's a multiple choice question. Option 1, the part label D is origination. I'm using this as an example, okay, origination. I can add options again. It's called storage. Then the next one, I had option 3, it's called distribution, and the fourth one is called process. I'm using this as an example. It's called process. That is the third objective question set. Then we'll move ahead. I want to set 5. Okay, since I want to ask questions on this diagram as well, what I'll simply do is, I don't need to click on the plot sign again. I'll rather click on the copy sign beside this delete basket. So I'll just click on the copy. It will automatically duplicate the same question for me down. You can see this is the one up in the image shown below. The part label D is, okay, and I want to ask question the same thing here in the image shown below. The part label D is, then I can change my question to the part labeled A is. Are you with me now? So easy and fast. The part label A is, and I still have my options: origination, storage, distribution, process, and I still have the correct option in these questions. Okay, so let's go ahead. That's number 4th one. Then we want to ask the last questions. Then here I want to insert a new question page. Then I'll click on the plot sign here at the bottom of the screen. Then the question could be, which of the following, okay, let me use this as an example. I want to explain something here. Okay, which of the following is not an, or is not a or an output device? Okay, since it's still multiple choice questions, then you can put your, in this case also you can make use of images in our options. If you have image, if you have image of these input and output devices, you can click on the image in our options so that they will be able to see, identify. They can identify whether this is input, this is output, this is, are you getting me? So you can as well use that. But let's go ahead. You can practice this on your own. Option 1, which of the following is not a on output device? Is not. Okay, number 1 is monitor. Okay, hard options. Number 2 is printer, option 2. Then number 3 is scanner, And the last one here, option 4, is speaker. So that is our 5 objective questions, and I'm going to make all these questions required. Please, I'll need to correct my options here. It is speaker, is her speaker. Thank you. I'm going to make them a required question so that they will know that it's very, very important, so that the students will not skip any question. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to make it required. I'm doing this on phone for people that want to use phone for the class. Okay, that is already required. So this is also required, and this one, okay, I'll make it required so that students will not skip any question at the end of the day. Okay, this is also required. So we've typed our 5 questions here. So the next one we want to do is to set questions on theory. So what we will do is we'll sectionalize it. So you click at the symbol at the bottom right of our screen, the 2 small rectangular shape. So you click on it. It will sectionalize our work. Okay, you can see now this is where my cursor, my mouse is. So I mistakenly put my mouse there. Okay, you can delete this section. So it has been deleted. So my question is back again now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it has deleted the questions. Okay, let's leave it. Then I want to add sections to my work. How do I go about it? Sections to my work. Then I click on section. You can see now it has sectionalized my work. So I have 3 questions here. Okay, let me quickly add to this. Okay, I want to copy. Okay, let me quickly do that. In the diagram shown below, the part label A is dash. Okay, so we still have that as our option. Alright, so I'll make it required as well, and I can also copy it again. Okay, it's saying the part label. Okay, let me check the diagram to know the part label C is dash. Part label C is dash. Okay, beautiful. So we are done with that. Now our section 2. So we can title it. We can call it section B, which is theory. Okay, let's go ahead. You can give this one description, or it is optional. You can ask them to answer all questions in this section based on you. But if you make your work to be required, you must be able, you will only answer the question. Then you click on the plus sign. When you click on the plus sign, you ask your question here. You can say briefly describe information, and this kind of question you can call it paragraph depending on the kind of answer you are expecting from them, and depending on the kind of mark you allot for this kind of question. So if you are going to allot 5 marks for this kind of question, then you have to make it a paragraph. But if you are going to allot 2 marks, maybe you are just expecting them to write just 1 or 2 lines of response back to you, you can make it a short answer. Okay, so let's leave it as a paragraph, long answer text. So we make it required. Okay, the next one is you click on the plus sign. Okay, we are still dealing with our theory. You can say, okay, ask the question. You can say differentiate between signs or symptoms of coronavirus and malaria. This is a question. Then you can change it to, depending on what you want them to answer, paragraph. Are you with me now? Between the symptoms of coronavirus and malaria. So that is our questions. I'll also make it required. So I'm done setting the question here, and I will quickly go back to my settings. How do we allot marks to these questions we have created so that the students will be able to see their scores immediately after submission? But there is something I want to raise here, but it will be discussed at the end of the thing. Let's go ahead. Then I'll click on this 3 sign again. Then I'll go on settings again. Then I'll click on quizzes. So this is quizzes again now. So make this a quiz. That means our form, we want to make it a quiz. Okay, now under quiz option, release grade. You can see that release grade immediately after each submission. If you want your students to see their score immediately after each submission, you click on that. But if you also want them to see it later after manual review, you can click on later after manual review. But let's click on immediate after each submission. Then respondent can see missed questions, correct questions, and point values and their score. Okay, this is good here. That is under quizzes. Then we save it. Okay, then you can see at the top of it, you can see total points. We have not added points to this. That's where we are still having 0. Now let's go back to our question, please. Now here we will have, which of the following is not an agent? So you click on it. You click on the question. Then how do we assign score or point to these questions? You come down, you can see at the bottom down of this question, you see at the bottom left side, you see a blue tick in a rectangular box, in a square box. You click on the blue. So how many points do you want to give these questions? Which of the following? Let's say 2 points. Okay, then it asks you to choose correct answer. Okay, you as a teacher, you have to choose the correct answer. Which of the following is not an ancient method? Answer is television. Then you click on done, or you can click on add answer feedback. Here you have to type the correct answer. Are you with me? This is incorrect. Then you click on correct answer, and the correct answer is what? Television. So that the students will be able to know if they miss any of the questions, the correct option. So are you with me? Then you click on save. We are done with that. 2 points. Okay, feedback, television, beautiful. You can delete the feedback if you don't want. Let's go ahead. The next one is you click on the next question. All right, so after clicking on the next question, the next thing we will do also is click on this blue sign, attach points to it. Let's make it 2 points as well. Then choose the correct answer. Data is referred to as raw facts and figures. Okay, if that is the answer, you click it and you type the answers there. And there's something I want to say here. Please, we must mind the spelling. Raw facts and figures. Please, it is very sensitive. In our feedback, if we use capital F and capital F in facts and figures, and in our options picked, it is small letter, please, it's going to mark it wrong for the students. It's just like a CBT. Please, we must mind our spellings and our font styles and our cases. So we must mind it. So this is raw facts and figures, then done. Okay, so we move to the next one. You can see it's ticking it, raw facts, correct. So we can move to the next one. Okay, this can come here and give a point to it. The question is, In the image shown below, the part labeled D is what? Then you click on the blue sign here, another 2 points, beautiful. Then we'll come back again, label D, you choose your answer, is called the storage. Then you add your feedback also here, your feedback for the correct answer. You click on the correct answer, you write storage. So after that you click on save. Okay, so we are done with that. We click on save. We are done with that. Then we come down again and click on done. When we click on done, then we move up again. We are done with that. Then we move to the next question, image shown below. Then you click on it. You click on the question again. In order to add point value, you click on this blue sign. How many point value? 2. Then you are asked to choose the correct answer. In the image shown below, the part label A is called origination. Are you with me? Then add feedback. Click on correct answer, then origination. Okay, beautiful. Then after that you click on save. Okay, we are done with that. You click on save. Then the last one, under the objective is what we want to do, which is this. Okay, and the question says the part label C is called what? Distribution. Then how do you do it? You click on the blue sign again, you add your 2 point. Okay, then you click on your answer, which is what? Distribution. Then add feedback. Then you click on correct answers, and it is what? Distribution. So that is the answer. Then you click on save. Okay, then we click on done. So we are done with this. But here under the theory, you can at the same time grade your questions. Then let's come back again, briefly describe information. Then you click on the blue sign. Let's assume I give it a 5 point. All right, I go back again. Please, we don't need to add answer feedback here. Why? Because if you type the feedback here, the Google form will mark your student with exact response or feedback you provide here. If students write, even if it is different between is or are, that is missing between the two, it's going to mark it wrong. But in the theory, the teacher will do the grading by themselves. So the reason why we are putting the point here is to show the students what the teacher expects. So for example, briefly describe information, and I put 5 points. So the students will know that I expect them to define, to do more than definition of information for me. Because if I put 1 marks there, some will think, okay, it's the definition. But since I put 5 marks there, I want them to define it for me. I want them to tell me the characteristics, and I want them how to explain how data is being processed to information. So that will make their 5 marks. So the reason why we are adding these points there is for the students to know what we expect. But we will not add feedback here, answer feedback, because if you put the answer feedback there and the students cannot answer the questions the same way it is in our feedback. So if it is different with what we have in the feedback, it will mark it wrong for them. So we will not going to add our answer feedback here. We will leave it and click on done. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. Differentiate between symptoms of coronavirus and malaria. So you click on it, then you grade it. You click on that. How many points? Let's say 5 points as well. Then you click on done. So when you are done with this, we are done grading our form. We are done designing our form, and our form is ready. We can now see at the top of it as a total point is 20. So what we will simply do is we'll just go back to the send sign and click on the link. Let me use shorten URL. Then I click on copy. Are you with me? So I click on copy. I can copy it personally myself. I click on copy. Then I will simply just go straight. Okay, before I go and paste it, let me preview it. Let's preview it. You click on these three dots we have up here, then you preview your question, how your question looks like. So the question is Christ the King Catholic College, Odolewu-Ijebu, SS2 data processing, third term, first continuous assessment test. So email required. Are you getting me now? So you want them to enter their email. Okay, let me say for example the email is olawolekelani@gmail.com. You may ask them to enter their email or not, but here also you still ask them to enter their name, and their name is what? Kelani Olawole. Okay, so I've answered that. And the next one is the C is, which of the following is not an ancient method of information transmission? 2 points. Is not television. Okay, data is referred to as raw facts and figures. Okay, the next one is in the image shown below, the path label D is storage. Okay, then in the image shown below, the path label A is origination. They tick the options there. This is how students will see it. We are previewing it on how students will see it at their own end. The next one is in the image shown below, the path label C is called what? Distribution. Now you can see next page. So that means they want to go to the next page. If they don't, let's assume they don't answer this, or they pick something else, they don't answer this and they want to go to the next page, they won't be able to go. So let's click on the next. It will take them to the next page, which is what? Section B, theory. And instruction is answer all questions in this section. Briefly describe information. 5 points. Let's go. Information is a processed data. It is used for decision making. Let's assume a student answer like this and stop. The Google form will not grade the point, the students, but as a teacher, after submission, you will look at the student's response and determine the point you want to give it to ourselves manually. So the next one is differentiate between symptoms of coronavirus and malaria. Students must answer this. Let's assume that the students don't want to answer this and click on submit. Let's see what will happen. You can see this is required questions. Are you with me now? So such students will not be able to submit. That is why it is good to make use of required for all our questions, so that any students will not come and complain that, oh, I mistakenly submit, I don't know. So that is why so you have to make every question required. So students must type something. Differentiate between symptoms of coronavirus and malaria. Coronavirus, students can say, okay, coughing, then you can come down and say malaria. Okay, no coughing. Are you with me? No coughing. That's number one. So students can mention as many different symptoms as they want, or they can leave it as. So it now depends on the teacher to grade the students. So the students will now click on submit. So once they click on submit, immediately your response has been recorded. That is our confirmation messages we did. And then the students can view their score, because we allow them to view. They can see total point 10 of 20. The OBJ were graded, but the theory was not. You can see in the OBJ section 10 of 10 points correct. Which of the following is not? 2 of 2 correct. Feedback, television correct. Data refers to as 2 of 2 correct. Are you with me now? This is how it's going to show for the students. This is how it's going to display for the student. And this is section B. And the section B will not be graded by the Google form. So it is the teacher that will now sit down, write the student's name and say, okay, question number theory, question number 1, okay, as we normally do, briefly describe, and you see the answer. You grade the students over 5, and the next one you grade the students over 5. So this is how a Google form works. Okay, I'm going back to my form so as to enable me to send my link. So this is my form now, and you can see at the top beside the question you see responses. 1 response. Okay, if you click on it, you can see the summary of the response. Average 10 of 20 points, the median 10 of 20 points, the range 10 of 10 points. Are you with me now? It shows you, but you can at the same time click on the question. You can see the question. Okay, 1 ungraded response. Okay, you can come back again and click on individual in order to see individual students' response. So by the time students keep entering their responses, you begin to see 1 of 1, 1 of 2, 1 of 3, 1 of 4, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, 1 of 7, 1 of 8, and it will be in form of table. Here, instead of using their email, it will use their name. Then you begin to click on their name and view it. So that is how a response will look like. Then I go back to the questions. Then how do I copy my link? I've explained that, and I've already copied that before. What I will do is I'll just close my work. Then I'll go straight to WhatsApp. Then I'll click on the WhatsApp. So on the platform created. Okay. Then I'll post the work there straight. Then I'll post it there, CKCC faculty. Then I'll click on it. So this is how to go about setting question using Google Form. Then I want to do something. I want to click on this link to see whether it will actually work. Let me click on the link at my own end here. You can see automatically it takes me there. It's loading. It takes me straight. You can see you have already responded. So I can't respond again because I only limit it to 1 response. So you can fill out this form only once. Try contacting the owner. Okay, so I've already done it. So as a new person, okay, let me go back. Let me send the link. Okay, let me send the link to Mr. Oshokoya. Okay, let me send the link to Mr. Oshokoya. Forward the link to Mr. Oshokoya. Then I forward it. Okay, you can see Christ the King Catholic College, Odolewu, SS2 data processing. Now let me click on the link and see what it will tell me. So the same thing is still telling me the same thing because I'm using my email. Are you getting me now? That is why email is important to be collected from the students. So had it been the email is not there, I'll be able to enter again and change name. Because students can use their first name, the second name, and change their third name. So they can change it. So collecting their email address is very important. So thank you very much for listening. This is all about Google Form. Thank you and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.